a meeting here that's to bring to light the absolutely disgraceful attempt to cover up gross negligence with what went on at Crompton Cemetery at the beginning of this year, where my family had to undergo an exhumation through gross negligence on the maintenance of Crompton Cemetery. Now, because of my outspokenness that was on YouTube at a full council meeting, where the councils didn't like it, we don't like it, where parts of our family and other family members were underwater. Now, we were invited, me and my cousin, up to the council office with a meeting with a member of the leader's office, the surveyor, Councillor Shah, the leader, my cousin and myself, Peter Brown. At that meeting, the council did apologise for what had happened to my cousin's bereavement and to have his wife exhumed. But it didn't stop there. We was both invited, both myself and my cousin, and like I said, apologies were given. And then my questions was, why did this council not act 12 months before, when a councillor, Hazel Gloucester, Lib Dem of Shaw, raised the issues when I contacted her regarding the flooding? Why did nothing happen? What use is it having Liberal Democrat councillors having a say in Shaw and Crompton when nothing were done? And why did Councillor Hazel Gloucester not able to do anything regarding that? Why did it have to take an exhumation of your human remains to bring this to attention? Disgraceful. Now, at that meeting, the surveyor present who did this work stated that he was not privy to the exhumation, and both myself and my cousin said, well, we weren't, not that we'd want to be. But he did make inquiries to be kept informed what the ground was like during this exhumation. He told us at that meeting with the council leader, Arooj Shah, that it was dry. Instantly, my cousin said, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to tell you, I have had a phone call from the undertaker who said that the ground was wet. So who do we believe? I believe my cousin and the undertaker. I don't believe anything that this council says. Now, when I was speaking to Arooj Shah, leader of Oldham Council, I said 5 times, and it was clear as anything on the video. 5 times, Councillor Shah, I've asked you to get back to me. You said you hadn't got the phone calls. And yet, at that council meeting, on the 25th of August this year, in the Civic, I asked the council leader, I'm going to give you 2 numbers. One was a mobile number, and I'd like you to tell me whose number this is. After I read the mobile number, she stated, that's my mobile number. I said, correct. Now, what's the other number? Well, she couldn't answer, and it was a member from the leader's office who stated that it was the council switchboard. So, for clarity, we have Councillor Arooj Shah, who made it come to light that I had to speak out at full council meeting because she refused to get back to me on the phone calls. She said, when I said, well, that is your mobile, it was the council switchboard that gave it me. Well, I don't answer numbers I don't recall. And so I don't answer numbers I don't recollect. And yet she stated she did not receive them calls. It's a lie, she did. She's openly said it at full council. This situation went a bit volatile. Raises were voiced both by myself and Councillor Shah. And then I was excluded from any further delegation within that meeting. Despicable, I was called. Despicable, did Councillor Shah said to me, of using my cousin's wife's exhumation to get back at the council. It was raised because of my parents and other members of families underwater 12 months before. The despicability is on you, Councillor Shah, on you and all the council who did nothing to sort this problem out. It took 1 week to sort this problem out, and it took an exhumation and a kick up the council's backside to sort it out. Now, I asked for a letter from this civic, exactly what went on, what work they undertook, what they came across, and what actions were to resolve the problem if it happened again. We are 4 months down the line. I have not received a letter. Neither has Councillor Hazel Gloucester. She keeps phoning, I keep phoning her. Have you heard anything? Nothing. We've heard nothing between us. Now, she stated last week that she'd been in contact with Unity Partnership, and these people are the ones that take you to court if you don't pay your council tax. Unity Partnership were the ones who lost my personal data, breached my Data Protection Act, and they were slapped across the face with a feather from the Information as Commissioner Office. Some people get the book thrown at them. This council gets slapped across the feather. They lost my personal data. But Councillor Hazel Gloucester said that Unity Partnership has a reply from the surveyor, and they have not been told to send it to me. So for 4 months, I've been led to believe that I was going to be sent a letter regarding what work went on. I have every right. There is 15 of my immediate family in this burial ground here in the Catholic section. And over at the back was a manhole that collapsed. The council did bugger all, and 8 years ago I raised the issue so strongly, I said, if you don't get something done, I will inform the television. Oh, they did it. They repaired that culvert. Had I not been able to raise my concerns, I said to the surveyor, if you hadn't repaired that culvert, what work could you have done here? He said it would have been very, very hard. But to be called despicable for bringing it to light when Councillor Barbara Brownridge, at the beginning of the year, when I raised the issue that my cousin was intending to have his wife exhumed, she, and when she was a cabinet member, stated that thank you for keeping us on our toes. So we have a cabinet member, Councillor Barbara Brownridge, thanked me for keeping the council on the toes, and then ridiculed and damned and called as a despicable man by our council leader for raising this and holding them to account. Oh no, the despicability lies with our councillors. They all sit there. Surely they knew what were going on regarding this issue at Crompton Cemetery. What use is it voting for the Conservatives? What use is it voting for the Lib Dems when this Labour-run council do nothing, only silence you? And the propaganda report from the Oldham Times. I informed the Oldham Times what went on at that council meeting, and they wrote their own agenda after speaking to the council. Shame on you. Shame on you, Oldham Times, for a propaganda report, in my opinion. You were told about the harshness. You were told about me being called despicable. You were told about 12 months before and you didn't do anything. And when I tried to contact the reporter, a chief reporter, for the Oldham Times, I got the phone put down on me 4 times. 4 times he put the phone down. Where's the honesty? Where's the openness? Where's the transparency? Where is independent views that the public give our press regarding the serious allegations regarding Oldham Council? No, we need to stand up and fight for what is right. And at Armistice Day, when all the councillors give lip service in putting down wreaths for our soldiers, it is people of my age, 68, 60, 70, 80, who have been brought up where our politicians were honourable. Now they are far from honourable, and we have to hold them to account. Councillor Hazel Gloucester was informed 12 months ago when I raised the concerns. And at the beginning of the year, Councillor Hazel Gloucester attended down here at Crompton Cemetery, where we had the surveyor. The surveyor stated to us all that he thought it was a collapsed culvert, just like the main one that happened 8 years ago. A collapsed culvert. And yet, in an article with the Oldham Times, to make them look squeaky clean, Oldham Council gave a statement and said that the flooding down here in the Catholic section was solely down to Storm Christoph and melting snow. That surveyor, who were present here with Councillor Hazel Gloucester, and I brought the newspaper clip that morning, said that was very premature of what the council have said. Very premature. 12 months ago, when I raised the flooding, did we have Storm Christoph and melting snow? No, we did not. The gullies at the top, where the little centre path going up to the church in Crompton Cemetery, have still not been cleaned up, attributed to flooding of them graves at the front. At the back, if you carried on the road going down Fraser Street, in the cemetery, where the road dips very sharply, and when the heavy rain does come, now that is attributing to the flooding of the graves in that bottom section. They've raised the road where the rainwater floods members, heartbreaking, family members' graves, and still nothing's done. Now when we look over here at the drainage that was supposed to be done, this is right at the beginning, and still we've got water lodging. Now if that drain was working, surely that some of that water would be going. Absolutely despicable. And Councillor Hazel Gloucester was invited today to come out and help people of the people she represents in Sean Crompton. Because when I spoke to her last Wednesday, I said, would you kindly come up? You know you were present, the mention of a collapsed culvert. You haven't received a letter. I haven't received a letter regarding all the works. I said, but I did state to Councillor Gloucester, can you tell me, what have the Lib Dems done in Shaw to bring this to attention at full council meetings? As Councillor Sykes, Councillor Chris Gloucester, Dave Murphy and all the others, have they brought it up? And she said, no, they've left it to me. But you haven't done anything. That's the worst thing. We brought it to attention a year ago, nothing's been done. Now Councillor Hazel Gloucester said she was working away from home and will be back Saturday. I said, well, please contact me Saturday evening so we could make arrangements Sunday or Monday after Armistice to come up here and do this broadcast. As of yet, Councillor Hazel Gloucester has not been back. Who on earth can we believe?